Welcome everybody, my name's Colton from Zimtu Capital. Today I'm here with Chris Grove, President of Commerce Resources, and we're here to discuss Saville Resources actually and their latest drill results. So maybe you could help interpret what did they hit, what sort of results did they get recently?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Colton. Great to be here. The results that Saville released last week, which Commerce Resources also released, were excellent results on the first three holes that they drilled in the Niobium Claim Group, which are proximal to our Ashram rare earth element deposit. In terms of those results, there was a 17-meter intersection of 1% niobium. And considering that niobium right now is at about $45 per kilo, that is 10 kilos of niobium per ton, or $450 rock per ton. So you're talking about something that actually is more valuable than a 7 gram per ton gold project. And so these were excellent results. Those weren't the peak results. In actual fact, there was a peak assay of 1.73 niobium, and there was also an intersection 5 meters of 1.39 niobium. But you know, potentially in a mining scenario, the 17 meters of 1% is probably the most significant intersection that we should focus on.
So you said $450 per ton of rock. Roughly, is there any sort of idea how much it would cost to get something like that out of the ground? I know that's a lot down the road, but just to give an idea of what sort of profit margin somebody could have on something like that.
Yeah, as you say, it's a little early to calculate that, but you're not talking about difficult mining. You're not talking about, going down 100 meters before you hit the mineralization. The great other thing about these results are that the niobium mineralization starts at surface. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about the lowest cost mining operation out there in terms of just straight up open pit mining. So open pit mining, the cheapest extractive method, and you're getting, value approximately of $400 rock per ton.
So then, now we're speaking to you, Commerce Resources. How does this relate to Commerce? I know this is from Saville. So you mentioned it was the Niobium Claim Group. Is there some sort of agreement there?
There is. There's an earn-in agreement between Saville and Commerce Resources. So Saville currently is working on a program to do $5 million of work on our Niobium Claim Group. And if they do that, I just said if they do $5 million worth of work, then they will earn a 75% interest in this set of claims. Up until that point, those claims are still owned 100% by Commerce Resources. Part of what we hope for, and we're optimistic about, is that Saville will, in the next drilling program, come back with an inferred resource of some significant grades of niobium.
So speaking on that, then on the next drill results, so what the targets were for Marana, was it, for this?
Well, the first three holes that were released last week were on the Mallard prospect. And the next four holes, which we're actually more excited about, not that we've seen them, but we're more excited about the next four holes, which were drilled on what we call, as you said, the Marana prospect. Right. And so the Marana, ultimately, or the reason we're most excited about the Marana is we've never drilled it before. We've sampled it or sampled in the area very significantly, and the results have been exciting. But the additional kind of hope in our back pocket is that the Marana may be where the highest grade rock sample we've ever recorded from our set of claims may originate from. And due to the very highly technical glacial drift technology that we employ, which is the most basic situation you can imagine, which is basically the glaciers receded to the northwest. Mm-hmm. And so we found this very high grade rock sample, which was 16% niobium to the northwest of where the Marana is. So we're hoping that the Marana might be where this rock sample came from.
Okay, so moving forward, then we can look forward to those holes. So the first 3 holes have been released, or it was just the one hole from the news release, one of those?
No, the first 3 holes from the Mallard, but nothing from the Marana yet.
Okay, so we can look forward for the next 4 holes. Is there some sort of time frame that we can look to that on, or?
It's difficult to speculate at this point in time, or speculation is the only thing I can do, but the whole industry is suffering from a backlog at the assay labs.
Right.
So when the first 3 holes that we released went into the lab, the expectation or the estimate was given a 4 to 6 weeks turnaround in terms of the assay lab. Well, in actual fact, it was more like 11 to 12 weeks of turnaround. Okay. And this has its roots in COVID, actually, in that very few companies drilled last year. The assay labs laid off employees. And then in 2021, everybody, as soon as they were allowed to go into site, drilled if they had the capital, as we were fortunate to do, and Saville was fortunate to do. But the assay labs were inundated with drill core samples from other operations, like our pilot plant for Commerce Resources, and it has led to this significant backlog at the assay lab. So the last set of drill holes from the Marana were probably sent into the lab around the end of July, and we're hoping to have them back in the next couple of weeks.
So we can definitely look forward to those coming up. Is there anything else we should talk about in regards to this news release?
Well, I think the thing about it is that, you know, even if you just focused on the 17 meters of 1% niobium and that potential value of that rock, and the fact that it is at surface, and then you compare it to the world's second largest niobium producer, which is also in Quebec, which is called Niobec, and it's the Saint-Honoré carbonatite to the south of us, considerably to the south. That is a very old mine, but it also is operating at 0.5, 0.4% niobium. And they're also making approximately $400 million in revenue per year for approximately 10% of the global market. Wow. So just to compare, 17 meters of 1% is very attractive indeed.
Thanks for talking with us, Chris. We'll be sure to keep everybody updated with the news coming out of Saville and Commerce. And thanks, everybody.